All right, here we are. Today we are working on this lesson here. May 19th, factoring standard quadratic equations. Go to home and then open this up. And when you get there, you will see this document right here, May 19th. Okay. And to get there, you can, when you open it up, you also remember if you need translations, you can open this document. Make sure to download it right there to translate the document to your language, okay? So if you want it in your language, open that up and then you can see what everything is, okay? So, okay, so the first question, as you see, is a review of what we've already done. This is something that I'd like you to try, and then when you're done, maybe pause the video and then come back and check your answer. Okay, as a review, we want this, remember, 39 is the C, 16, positive 16 is the B, and we're looking for a number that, looking for two numbers that multiply to 39, so we can always start with 39. Always make a table, 39 times 1, okay? So this is going to be the C, but we also need the B, okay? So the B is going to be when we take these numbers and we add them or subtract them, 39 plus 1, 40, 39 minus 1, 38. So we know when we multiply these, they equal 39, so we've got that. But what we're trying to get is the 16, remember? So we don't have it. So now we're going to try 2, and we're going to take 39 divided by 2, but it doesn't work. So then we're going to try 3, and 3 times 13. We add them up, we get 16, and we subtract, we get 10. And 16 is great because that's our B up here, right? So that means that's going to be our B. So that means that these two numbers right here are going to be the numbers, plus 13 plus 3. Smaller number, right, is positive 3. The bigger number is 13. And so there you go. That would be the answer for those. Now what we're doing today is the same thing, but it's a little bit new because now we have negative numbers, okay? So this is negative 54. Before, we only had positive. So the process is still the same, but what we have to do, so the process is still the same, but what we have to do is this. We're going to go to, we still need C to be negative, but now it's negative 54. So first, let's go ahead. Oops. So that needs to be positive 3, okay? So that equals negative 54. Okay. First, let's just get the numbers that multiply to 54, okay? So that's going to be, so 54 and times 1, right? Like we did before. We add them up, 55, subtract 53, okay? But we need positive 3, right? Okay, so let's try 2. 2 and 27, yes, add 29. So that subtract 25, but we need 3. Is 3 a factor? Well, if you use your calculator, 54 divided by 3 is going to be 18. Okay, you add them up, you get 21, subtract 15, need 3. Okay, let's see if we can, if I've got enough room here. Okay, is 4 a factor? 4 is not. Is 5? Is 6? 6 is a factor. 6 and 9, if I do my calculator. Add them up, 15, subtract, and we get positive, and we get 3, okay? So now we get the number we need to get. We want 3, and we get 3 right here, so that's great. So we know the numbers are going to be 9 and 6, okay? But now, because this is negative, negative 54 is equal to C, and B is equal to positive 3, we need to make sure that the signs are correct. So if we add, so also one of them has to be negative, right? So if negative, we can try this. We multiply, it's negative 54. But if we add negative 9 plus 6, that's equal to negative 3, but we need positive 3. Okay, again, we need positive 3. So that means that negative 9 and 6 are not correct. So let's try the other way. Now let's try, let's try negative 9, or 9 times negative 6, also 54, negative 54, but 9 minus 6 equals 3, and that's positive, right? So that checks. So this one works. So that means this is going to be plus 9 and minus 6. And if we have to, we can always try this, x squared, and then minus 6x, and then plus 9x, and then minus 54. We put these together, x squared plus positive 3x minus 54. So that checks with that. Okay, so the smaller number, negative is always smaller than positive. So negative 6, positive 9, that's what you put into Canvas. Let's try number 5 and 6. Go ahead and try it to see what you get, and then come back and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so this is the table I got, and I tried numbers that multiply to 75, and here I finally found that the number that gave me the 75 and 10 is this right here. Okay, so that tells me the numbers are going to be 15 and 5. Now I need to make sure I get the sign right. So I know that this is negative 75, so one has to be positive and one has to be negative, okay? So here's your clue. If it's negative, that means when you add them, that means the bigger number has to be negative, okay? So if it's negative when you add them, the bigger number has to be negative, and we can try it. So negative 15 plus 5 equals negative 10. So that works with this B right there, okay? And if we multiply negative 15 times 5, of course, that equals negative 75. So that's your shortcut. And this would be negative, positive, so the bigger. Now, this looks bigger, but it's not, because remember, negatives are smaller, okay? Negatives are smaller numbers. So the smaller is negative 15, and the bigger is 5, okay? Okay, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, please go to this assignment here so you can translate this part right here. Okay, this is very important that you understand this. So translate that if you need to translate it, okay? Okay, so negative 15 is smaller than 4. Negative 15 is also smaller than negative 3, okay? Very important. So when we go back to this, negative 15 is smaller than positive 5, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and try one more. You try, let's see, do we try this one here? Yeah, so let's see, we did that. Yeah, so everybody, you go ahead and try this, and when you come back, and I'll show you the notes. Okay, so when I look at this over here, I see that I got to the second row, and I was able to see that I needed 65, which both of these are 65, but I also need a negative 18, so I see an 18 right there. So that tells me I've got 13 and 5, okay? Now, here's a part that's a little bit tricky. So when I put them together, I need it to be negative 18. Earlier I said that if you make the bigger number negative and add it to that, well, the problem is you'd get negative 8, but we need negative 18. So that means I need 5 to also be negative so that I can get negative 18, okay? And also, if you remember, the C is positive. It's positive. So when I take a negative 13, negative 13 multiply by negative 5, I actually get a positive 65. So these are both negative right here. And remember, what's the smaller one? The smaller is the more negative, right? So that's going to be negative 13, and this is negative 5, okay? So that's the way this assignment works, you guys. So please go ahead and do the practice questions on the next page, and make sure you put your answers into Canvas.